Big question: what role did Nnamdi Azikiwe play in Nigeria's fight for independence? In the vibrant city of Enugu, a young boy named Chuka was excited about his upcoming history lesson. Today's lesson was about a remarkable figure known as Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, or Zik of Africa. Chuka's teacher, Mrs. Adebayo, promised that this story would be both inspiring and educational. Chuka couldn't wait to learn about how Zik helped shape Nigeria's journey to independence. Mrs. Adebayo began the lesson by introducing Chuka to Nnamdi Azikiwe, a man who made a significant impact on Nigeria's fight for freedom. As Chuka listened attentively, he imagined himself traveling back in time to witness Azikiwe's incredible journey. Chuka's journey began in the town of Zungur, where Nnamdi Azikiwe was born in 1904. His father, who was a respected chief, ensured that young Azikiwe received a solid education. As Chuka learned more, he discovered that Azikiwe was not only educated in Nigeria but also traveled far to the United States for further studies. Imagine leaving your home and traveling across the ocean to a new land, Mrs. Adebayo said, capturing Chuka's imagination. Azikiwe went to the United States to study, and it was there that he developed a deep understanding of political and social issues. Chuka was amazed to learn that while studying abroad, Azikiwe became deeply interested in the plight of African people and was inspired to work towards their freedom. After his studies, he returned to Nigeria with a vision to make a difference. One of the most important things Azikiwe did was to form the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons NCNC. This political party was dedicated to fighting for Nigeria's independence from British colonial rule. Chuka's eyes widened as Mrs. Adebayo explained how Azikiwe's leadership and determination helped unite many Nigerians in the struggle for freedom. Azikiwe was also a prolific writer. He established several newspapers, including the West African Pilot, where he wrote articles that highlighted the injustices faced by Africans and encouraged people to stand up for their rights. Chuka imagined himself as one of the readers eagerly awaiting the latest edition of Azikiwe's newspaper. Mrs. Adebayo shared an interesting story about Azikiwe's activism. Zik didn't just talk about change, she said. He actively encouraged many Nigerians and West Africans to join the fight for independence. His speeches and writings inspired people from all walks of life to work together for a common goal. Chuka was inspired by Azikiwe's bravery and perseverance. Zik fought against the bad treatment of black people and spoke out against injustice. Mrs. Adebayo continued. His courage and dedication to the cause made him a beloved leader in Nigeria and beyond. As Chuka delved deeper into Azikiwe's life, he discovered some of the challenges Azikiwe faced. Despite his efforts, Zik encountered opposition from those who did not agree with his views. Chuka learned how Azikiwe's determination helped him overcome these obstacles. Zik faced many challenges, Mrs. Adebayo explained. There were people who did not support his ideas and tried to undermine his efforts. But Azikiwe's perseverance and strong sense of patriotism kept him going. Chuka also learned about Azikiwe's impact on other leaders and activists. For example, Azikiwe mentored several younger leaders who went on to play important roles in the independence movement. Chuka was inspired by the way Azikiwe used his knowledge and experience to guide others. Mrs. Adebayo posed a question to the class. What do you think was the most important lesson we can learn from Azikiwe's life? Chuka raised his hand and said, I think it's the importance of education. Zik went far to get an education and used it to help his people. Absolutely, Mrs. Adebayo agreed. Azikiwe's education gave him the tools to understand the world and fight for justice. It also shows us how important it is to use our knowledge to make a positive impact on society. Chuka and his classmates discussed the complexities of Azikiwe's role in Nigeria's independence movement. They considered the different perspectives on Azikiwe's methods and how his approach was received by various groups. Not everyone agreed with Zik's methods, Mrs. Adebayo said. Some people thought he was too radical, while others felt he was not doing enough. But what's important is that Azikiwe's actions contributed greatly to Nigeria's path to independence. Chuka thought about this and realized that historical figures often face criticism and differing opinions. So, even great leaders like Azikiwe can have people who disagree with them, he asked. Yes, Mrs. Adebayo confirmed. And that's part of what makes their stories so interesting. It teaches us to think critically and appreciate the complexities of history. Mrs. Adebayo emphasized how Azikiwe's legacy empowered Nigerians and inspired them to take action. Azikiwe's life shows us that through education, effective communication, and perseverance, we can achieve great things, she said. His work inspired many people to believe in their own abilities and strive for a better future. Chuka felt motivated by Azikiwe's story. "I want to use my education to help others and stand up for what is right," he said with determination. Mrs. Adebayo smiled and encouraged Chuka. "That's the spirit. Remember, like Azikiwe, you can make a difference by using your knowledge and skills to help others and fight for justice." As the lesson came to an end, Chuka reflected on the incredible journey of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. He had learned about Azikiwe's early life, his nationalist activities, and the impact he had on Nigeria's path to independence. Chuka was inspired by Azikiwe's dedication to education, perseverance, and effective communication. Looking out at the world around him, Chuka felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that the lessons from Azikiwe's life were not just about the past but also about how he could contribute to a better future. Chuka thanked Mrs. Adebayo for the inspiring lesson and left the classroom with a heart full of hope and determination. He was ready to follow in the footsteps of great leaders like Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and make a positive impact in his own way.